Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my favorite Hoyas that I specifically love for their beautiful foliage. It just so happens that most of these Hoyas that I'm going to show you came from Thailand. So unfortunately you can't find them in most garden centers. They really are special to me and I'm really happy that they survived the trip and I was able to root them in my propagation box. But before I get into the video, I also want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content, and also give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. That really helps out my channel as well. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing my favorite Hoyas for their beautiful foliage, just keep on watching and we're gonna get into it. All right, so who are we gonna start with? Which little baby? Let's start with my girl Lisa. So I'm not gonna show you these plants in any kind of order of favorite because Mama doesn't pick favorites, right? Don't tell them that I actually do maybe have a favorite. But this is my Hoya Australis Lisa. When I first tried growing this, I had a really hard time keeping it happy. I actually killed, I think, 2 of them. Thankfully, this guy has survived for like, I think about a year, and it's growing a lot. It's really large. Let me just give you a closer look at the leaves. So the leaves are absolutely beautiful. They're just absolutely stunning. And they kind of look like they've been watercolor painted. Just the pattern is just incredible. And when I first tried growing this, I tried growing it in terracotta and it seemed really unhappy in that type of a pot. I'm thinking maybe it just dried out too fast. So it seems a lot happier in ceramic. I definitely recommend that you try growing this plant if you're able to find it. I know that you can find it on Etsy and possibly on eBay. And I think in Europe they also have more of the Hoya Australis Lisa. So this is just absolutely beautiful and it's always going to be one of my favorites. It's just such a stunning, beautiful baby girl. So yeah. So my next plant looks very similar. Let me grab it. So this little baby you might think is like the same plant. It's actually one that I got from Thailand and it's known as Hoya Australis variegata. And if you feel the leaves, they're fuzzy, which I think is so precious. The coloring looks very similar to the Hoya Australis Lisa. And the leaves are actually more thick than the Hoya Australis Lisa. It's just really beautiful. It rooted really well for me in my propagation box, and I have it in my little Boston mug. I just absolutely love it. It is very similar to the Lisa, but I think I might prefer it even more just because it is fuzzy, and who doesn't love a good fuzzy leaf? Feels like peach fuzz that you'd find on like a peach. If you're a leaf stroker, I know some people really like to stroke their leaves. This is a good one for that, so super cute. This next plant is also really fuzzy. It has really shocked me. When I first purchased this, well, by the way, it's Hoya Patella Pink. Before I purchased it, I really suspected that this would be a really difficult plant to keep happy. I thought it was going to require a lot of humidity, and it really has thrived. I don't supplement any type of humidity during like the winter or during the dry season, and it does perfectly fine. And it really has grown like crazy. It's really large now. When this goes into bloom, it's absolutely stunning. The flowers are light pink and it just has like a pretty large flower for a Hoya. I think it has like a single flower instead of a little like bouquet, like a normal Hoya. It has like just single flowers here and there. But let me give you a closer look at the leaves. They're just really beautiful. Super fuzzy like I mentioned before. And I got this plant from Logi's. I definitely would recommend Hoya Patella Pink if you live in a cold climate because it really has thrived for me. And I really was surprised because I think this is native to like an area, I forget exactly where it's native to, but it's like an area that's very humid and foggy and misty. So I thought it was really gonna like just die instantly in my care, but it didn't, and it has grown a lot and it's beautiful. So I definitely recommend this if you're able to purchase it from a garden center or online. So for this little baby, I know the last part of its name is shortleaf, but I'll put the full name on the screen. This is another one of the plants that I got from Thailand, and I actually had to propagate 2 cuttings from this because they weren't doing very well. attached to the plant. Like I had to reroot the whole thing. But I love the veining on the leaves. It's absolutely beautiful. And the blooms are really beautiful as well. But it kind of reminds me of like a reptile or some kind of like a scale on a reptile, like on a snake or a lizard. But I think it's just super cool. It's like a really, I don't know, interesting plant. It's really easy to care for. For all of these Hoyas, I let the soil completely dry out. The last Hoya that I'm going to show you is a little more finicky, and I will get into that. It's my drama queen of the Hoyas. But all the other guys are super simple to care for so far. This guy is super pretty, and I got this from Thailand. I purchased all of my Thailand Hoyas from AH Hoya. I had a really good experience purchasing from them. All right, this is my baby. This is my pride and joy. It's my Hoya rotundiflora. It's also known as the square leaf Hoya, even though it's rectangle, kind of. It's not square. I don't know who named this plant, but it's absolutely beautiful. Let me give you a closer look. It's just super cute. I've talked about it many times on my channel. Like, look at this, it's huge. Living its best life. All of these plants live in my southern window in my bedroom. I would totally recommend getting this plant if you find it online. They grow super fast during the active growing season, and it's just adorable. It looks really beautiful when it's trailing off of a table. I have it on my tall vintage plant table, and it just looks beautiful. And I'm very happy with this plant. It's probably my favorite. Don't tell the other plants. Yeah, it's just so cute. It's my baby. And the leaves are actually, they're kind of fuzzy too. You'll notice the theme, I kind of love fuzzy leaves, but like they're little tiny hairs. It's not super fuzzy. And the leaves are super succulent and thick. It's just too cute. I love it. Mwah. All right guys, so I saved the drama queen for last. This is Hoya enduensis. Let me just give you a close look. The leaves are so cute and tiny, and they're ruffly. This guy has given me a lot of trouble, let me tell you. So when I first got this Hoya from Thailand, it probably lost more than half of the leaves, and that was keeping it in my propagation box, which was high humidity. It was bright light, bright indirect light. And it did, of course, probably go through like a shock period because it came from like hot and humid Thailand, which is like ideal conditions, to Massachusetts, which is not its home, you know, it's probably a little bit scared. It was not happy at all. I really thought I was gonna kill it, and I'm honestly surprised it's still doing well. It's the fall right now, so the humidity is very low. Honestly, I need to put my humidifier on because I want to keep this happy and alive. And with the soil, I noticed that when it dries out, I need to water it like immediately, especially since this pot is so tiny. Because there was one day where I didn't water it right away. It was probably dry for a few days and it looked really sad. The leaves are really puckering. This guy is definitely more of a dramatic plant. The leaves are really a lot thinner than the other Hoyas that I showed you today. They're like pretty paper thin, but it still feels like healthy. They definitely, I think, are supposed to be like that. It's just the way this plant is. But it's super beautiful, and when it goes into bloom, they're like these little orange flowers. It's super, super pretty. But I would definitely recommend purchasing one of these if you see them online, or if you're lucky enough to find them in the garden center. Alright guys, so those are my favorite Hoyas that I love for their foliage. If you have any comments, please leave them down below, and if you made it to the end, I want you to tell me if you're team foliage or team flower when it comes to plants. I'm definitely somewhere in between, so I'm like in the middle. I don't know if I could choose. I mean, I guess I could choose. I do prefer foliage, but I love flowers as well. But if you have a preference or not, just let me know down below, and that will let me know that you watched till the end, and I really do appreciate it if you watched till the end of the video. Like I mentioned before, please subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. So I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!